welcome to another episode of The Wolf Pack. So where we left off with you three, George missed last game because he was sick. You guys went back to the bridge with the two mercenaries that you convinced to join you guys, and were solely disappointed that there was nothing there except for a old Spider-Man walkie-talkie. While you guys were at the bridge, the ambush spot, you guys got a call over another walkie-talkie that Scavenger's Hold was being attacked. And the bridge being... So, yeah, you got a urgent call from Megan, who's like, they were under attack. You guys heard over the little walkie-talkies what sounded like motors running and machine gun fire.
Sounds like
and
bikers.
so you guys hiked back to Scavenger's Hold.
Right.
After about 2 hours on the road, off in the distance, you see pillars of smoke in the air. You turn the corner and you see the front gate of Scavenger's Hold's ripped open. You guys walk into the compound and there's nobody there. Tents have been sacked and lit on fire. There are bullet casings all over the ground, but there is no bodies. So you guys walk in and this is what you see. What do you guys want to do?
No bodies, no wounded. Everybody's just gone.
Yeah. The trailer that Vince was resting up in is still there. There doesn't seem to be lit on fire or anything. The factory on the other side of the parking lot is still intact. It's not on fire. The fires you guys see, there's only like 2 or 3 tents were lit on fire. Everything else was just kind of ransacked. The chairs are knocked over. The cart that you guys delivered the day before, that's completely gone.
Not surprising. I go over to see the trailer that Vince was in and see if we can figure out what happened to him.
Yeah, you walk over, you open it up, and you weren't inside the trailer before, so you can't tell if it was ransacked or not. Wasn't a whole lot of stuff in there to begin with. There was a chair knocked over. What looked like a bed, with just a couple of blankets and a very, very old, rusted, busted up, sack that maybe could have been a mattress in a past life is in one of the corners, with a bucket that spilled over, with a bunch of bile and excrement.
Sure.
But Vince is gone.
Okay.
None of his equipment's around. Everything is gone, and yeah, as you guys look for stuff and walk out of the trailer, you hear something underneath the trailer.
Guys, I think it's time to recruit a new member.
I am going to step back from the trailer and
What
tell everyone else what's going on.
Yeah. What are you hearing? Is it like a rat, or are you hearing
It's a scuffling, and as soon as you speak, you hear, thank God. And the scurrying gets louder, and covered in spider webs and filth is old Tom.
I love old Tom. That's your dude.
That's
my dude.
Old Tom. He's all, Morticians. Man, thank God you guys are here. Fucking the Lords of the Sierra showed up. And I hid under the trailer as soon as I saw them. But they gathered everybody up and took everything and left.
Can we trust this guy? I know he's on speed right now.
How do you know he's on speed?
I gave it to him.
Oh, yeah. Remember that time?
No, wait, no, you gave him alcohol.
You gave him alcohol.
Oh, that's right. Never mind. I
you
gave him
speed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Never mind.
No, he got downers.
Right, you gave me downers.
Right. Because of all that speed you did.
Right. Hey, listen. Choices were made.
Uppers.
We're all grown-ups. There's drugs in the game. It's cool.
Right. We're not.
All right, so let's ask old Tom what direction the Lords of the Sierras
While they're
I'm going to say
station.
they went toward the Sierras.
while they're interviewing Old Tom, I'm gonna pick up some of the brass
Maybe
that's
they're
been
migrating.
expended,
Okay.
to see if I can trade it for bullets or something in the future. So just to think about how much I recover.
You recover about 30 casings.
Let's ask Old Tom where we can replenish some supplies around. Since obviously everyone's gone. They couldn't have taken everything.
And he climbs out and he's like, he's grabbed his backpack and his doctor bag is gone. He just has his backpack. He goes, I don't know, man. They were pretty fucking thorough. I'm out of here. I'm going back to Clearwater and I'm going to see if I can get in on one of those trade caravans. Look, man, this town's busted.
Busted.
And the two mercenaries that were with you, who look completely defeated, they're going through their shit. All their shit's gone.
Right.
So now all they have is the busted up 22 pistols they had on them, and that was it. And they're just like, fuck this. And they're like, we're with you. And they're like, they're going to go with Old Tom, and they're going to walk back all the way back to Clearwater. Because at this point, they're broke.
You guys all stick around with us. Look, we're going to head over here to the Sierras. Help us take down a couple of baddies. It'll be worth your while. You'll have perhaps your own territory to run if we do this the right way.
It's not what I signed up for. And they're continuing to walk. I'm going to let you roll your speech. And I'm going to tell you right now, for this speech roll, okay, they are defeated. You've got a -10 to your roll.
Cool. So I have a 54 speech plus a +10 to speech for my charmer.
Okay.
So 54. So that's 64 minus your 10.
Let's see your character sheet real quick.
You don't need to look at my characters.
I don't need to.
He's gonna bust out his Bill Paul.
Yeah, the GM.
from
You don't need to see
94.
my. Today we
This is when he goes, wow, I just gave them a 50% chance of getting allies. Didn't expect that.
Yeah, so Charmer's already calculated into your speech skill. So it's just 54.
-10.
-10.
Okay.
Should I leave the room?
Just get away from me, Hot Rod. Okay. And we do, come on over here. Is that,
That's a fail.
are you sure?
Yeah. They're like morticians. We're like a bunch of Mortys. And like they just start walking. They start walking down the street, and Old Tom looks back and he goes, "Hey, look, I'm heading back to Clearwater. This town's a bust. It was rough going when everything was working right.
Maybe we should go to Clearwater.
I don't know if you guys can look around. I mean, obviously there's tracks here. There's tracks everywhere where these guys are going.
So do we go to Clearwater to try to supply up before we take on a whole gang of bikers, or do we just go after the biker gang?
Old Tom starts laughing. He goes, "It was 4 of them."
Oh, I can kill 4 people. Let's go.
Yeah.
They started firing, revving up the motorcycles, and Megan just went, "I'm done."
Jesus.
All right, let's go get them.
Yeah.
Well, can I?
You're a
can I-
tracker, right?
What? I'm a survivalist.
Yeah, like I said,
From
it's
somewhat.
the native part of you.
Can I? The Irish native.
Everyone's native to somewhere.
I'm just saying.
I can find a potato for you. So can I talk with one of the mercenaries? And so
That's
since
racist.
since the mercenaries are just trying to make it to Clearwater, they don't need their gun. But I do have rations. Water.
They laugh, and they don't even give you the chance. Fuck you.
All right, man.
There's food in Clearwater. These are the last of their tools for the trade that they've taken on. You're basically asking them for their livelihood.
Yeah, so I go like this.
Right.
I'm not gonna kill them.
Why not? They're not very good at their job. Look,
Old Tom's too drunk to help him out.
they couldn't even protect this place.
They're gonna make it all the way to Clearwater on foot without rations.
They don't
It's a-
have
it's
to
a
make it
day's
to
journey.
Clearwater. They could just died at the scene.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm
Okay.
a believer in karma.
One more casualty.
I'm trying to work off my bad karma, not.
All right.
And again, I mentioned it before. You know, morticians are symbols of hope.
Heroes
Not
and hope.
murder hobos.
Right.
Right.
So,
Well, that's why I kind of asked, rather than just being like, I'm going to have those guns, buddy.
Do it, yep.
okay. So the two mercenaries and Old Tom's running up to catch up to the mercenaries because he's sticking at least with the guys who are armed, since he doesn't have any weapons of his own. Head off down the road.
All right, well, it's.
While you were picking up casings
Yeah.
and all this was going on,
Right. Well, I can't talk to anyone. I have -10 talk.
you distinctly see tire tracks, footprints in the dirt. You could see where people were lined up and then marched single file out of the parking lot.
Okay. I found the tire tracks and the footprints. Let's go this way.
You're kidding.
Not kidding.
Can I show you a card trick?
Sure.
So yeah, you guys start checking
we
out
go
these.
that way.
You guys start checking out
Yeah.
the tracks. The tracks themselves are really distinct in this area because the bikers were coming from an ambush position. They kind of created their own trail to Scavenger's Hold. So in the dirt road that they took, the tire marks are fresh and distinct. Like it's clear as day where they came from and where they went. You guys take these tracks, these very obvious tracks, and you guys head to, like, so you see like the tracks here. There's like an old tent here, and it looked like they had some stuff stored there. You guys see like a hole in the ground here, and what looks like a little guard post here. But the area is obviously empty.
They stopped there on their way out.
They stopped there and took off. You guys can explore the area if you like.
Okay. I'm going to have my 10mm in my right hand and my cleaver in my left hand.
We should all do some uppers.
Jesus Christ.
I'm down.
I'm holding on to my shit.
All right, fine.
With my luck, I'm ODing.
Yeah, right.
No, the first one's free, remember?
Oh, yeah, the first one's free, and I haven't done one yet. Let me see how many I have.
2.
Keeping track of my dope.
Someone's keeping a very close track to the dope.
Yeah, I'm sleeping with my cleaver in my hand. This guy's on the pipe.
Yeah, so walk around here carefully, looking for the traps and cleaver out.
This guy's like on his hands and knees looking for like a rock.
All right. I explore the hole.
You want to explore the hole?
It's filled with
Yes,
shit.
I do. Thanks for asking.
Did you take uppers? Yes or no?
No.
Okay. So yeah, you poke your head in there, and it's pretty dark.
Mm-hmm.
Something's moving in there,
Okay.
Saddam.
I yell, "What's moving in here?"
and
spider
you
hole.
start immediately hearing the clicking sound
Ah,
Okay.
of
There's zombies in the hole.
zombies.
Okay.
So we're just gonna close that hole, right?
Yeah, I mean, are they climbing zombies? It's a hole, right?
Yeah, it's a hole.
So they're just down there.
burn it.
I'm cool with it.
Just drop some friggin' fire down that thing.
Do we have droppable fire? We have a flare. I'd say, hey guys, there's zombies in this hole. Let's go check out the other thing. What was the other thing?
Tent.
Over here.
Yeah, the tent. Let's check out the tent.
It's just empty. It's just a guard's pack. It was like an old couch they were sitting on, and you
Uh,
can see like cigarette butts on the ground, and obviously someone
cigarettes.
pissed in a corner outside.
Is it a tent that we could break down and keep? Or is it just kind of a dilapidated?
It's more canvas and sticks.
Okay.
You totally can break down and keep it, and
Let's see,
it would function as a pretty solid one-man pump.
Oh, it looks like I already have a tent. I'm
A
going
pump
to.
tent?
Tents and
Yeah.
tarps.
I also have driving.
Are the cigarettes smoked down to the butts, or are they liberal with it?
They seemed pretty liberal with it, yeah.
Artie's
Harvest that shit.
Artie's trying to get a hit off.
I mean, you never know in this bartery system of this brave new world. Yeah, let's harvest the cigarette butts.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
You said
You
there
have a number of
Yeah,
cigarette butts. Write it down.
you've got.
Just gonna
you
put them
know.
in my little Jerry Garcia pouch.
You find about a half a pack of Newports.
Newports.
Some Newports.
I mean, that's superior.
I guess we know what these bikers
No support.
My dad smoked Newports.
I used to smoke. I think it was Newports too.
smoked them for a while. But
Yeah. So other than like the cigarette butts in the checkout, like, there's not a lot here. You see clearly where they gathered everyone up and marched out of the camp. And you guys can start a fire. There's plenty of dry wood to light on fire and dump down there if you want to.
I say let's do it.
Aren't we trying to save our guy?
Yeah, but the last thing we need is
we
any
don't know what's in that hole, though.
zombies.
They're clicking.
Yeah.
Yeah, but are they tied up? Are they guarding something?
Okay, well, you guys go for it.
I mean,
Yeah,
I'll stand watch.
yeah, I'm gonna stay about 2 hexes away from the hole
Yeah.
while you guys
These
go
are-
into
these are-
that
jumping
I'm going to light like
zombies?
a big piece of wood on fire and toss it down there
Okay.
to illuminate so
To
we can at
illuminate.
least see.
All right.
Is it
And you're just gonna
caverns?
poke your head into it.
Right,
It's just-
right.
it's just a hatch. You've got the fire going.
Half a face.
Smoke is hitting you in the face because there's only one place for the smoke to go,
Sure.
right?
Not a
And
bonfire, though.
it's just a nice little. It's just
Right.
like on fire, right?
Right.
Got took the old canvas tent, doused it with some booze, and tossed it in there.
There we go.
A lot of soot's coming in your face, and it illuminates it. And what was buried under here, what this hatch is actually the top of a school bus that someone had buried in this area long ago.
There's that child children.
And inside,
Bunch of school children in that school
I
bus.
mean, it's kind of sick. I mean, yeah, it's the area, right?
so inside what you see is two zombies
Okay.
behind a makeshift chain link cage.
Okay.
And it's caved in on one half of the room, and you don't see anything else. Whatever was going on here has long passed, and they left the zombies down in the hole.
Okay.
Or maybe it was a jail and the guys just died and turned into zombies or something.
That was their holding cell for prisoners.
Right.
Can't get out that way because, you know, the zombies will get you. Kaiser Soze and all.
Yeah.
You know. Right. All right.
I mean, do you want to search the rooms now? Or officially? Or we just
Yeah, I mean, let's go. I'm going to go down there.
You want to go down there?
Yeah.
They're behind a fence, right?
Right.
Yeah, they're chained to the fence. Okay.
And take a little look around and.
Tickle, tickle, tickle.
It's like in video games. You're like, something's gleaming in the corner there. Zombie bondage.
There's a chest.
We call it zombondage.
Zentai.
So this is where we came down right here?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, shoot.
Oh
That's
shit!
way
there's
bigger
a
than
lot going on.
Oh, wait. For a second, I thought these were all
You
zombies.
don't watch any of those hippy dippy people rip out all the stuff out of a school bus and we're gonna live in this for 7 months.
There you go.
All right.
Okay. Well, I'm standing watch up top.
So
Y'all go ahead.
So right now that this branch is burning at your guys' feet, someone wants to pick it up. And you guys look around the room.
I'll pick it up.
Not you.
And
Anyone but you.
yeah, half the room's like caved in. And there's a busted up chair down there, and there's 2 zombies in a cage. And if you guys want to inspect them, you can. Whoever was living down here isn't down here anymore, and it does look like things have been picked up.
All right. Yeah. So I'm gonna come. I mean, this looks secure, right? The cage, like
Oh yeah,
I don't want to
They're
walk
totally-
by it and be like, oh shit, they got my ass.
Comes out.
Yeah, they're totally caged.
Okay, I'm gonna go check over here, whatever that is.
You see whatever what is. What you?
Over here, this,
Next to the cage.
right next to the cage.
Oh, just some old corroded supplies and everything. Looks like just a trash bin where they dump some stuff.
All right.
But you do see, crumpled up pieces of paper on the ground.
Yeah.
You go through them, check them out,
Yeah.
and it looks like they're marching orders from someone named Tig to
I bet you knows nobody.
Tig.
TIG, like the welder.
Yeah, Tig.
Okay, Taro.
Take the Taro, the comedian. TIG.
Tig.
And so there's some marching orders from Tig to a guy by the name of Big Gus that they were to get supplies and slave labor for a project at the DOT facility, is all it says.
All right.
Department of Transportation?
The Department of Transportation.
What's over here? That little briefcasey looking Tesla battery thing.
It's an old case. It's a rotted out wood case. You flip it open. It's like an old steamer trunk that's been outside way too long, and there's nothing inside it.
All right.
I'm gonna go sit on the couch and
So-
look in the couch cushions.
So what we know, these guys are heading over to DOT facility.
Or at some point somebody was. We don't know how old this is, right?
Well, it's our best lead.
Or we could just go back upstairs and follow the damn tracks.
Sure.
I mean, there's that.
Okay, well, search the rest of the room, roll for whatever, and then let's go.
All right.
There's not much left in the room. You guys found the note and
Nothing in the couch cushion?
nothing in the couch cushion.
Remote?
Set it on
It's
fire.
surprisingly enough,
Oh.
you find an old roach.
Weed roach?
Oh yeah,
What?
Just put it in the pouch.
yeah. You find it, but not like someone smoked it 2 weeks ago. Old like this roach may have been there since like the 70s.
Oh my
So it's
God.
weak ass weed, is what you're saying.
It's a headache
You
weed.
must have shake.
Tommy
I mean,
Chong shit, like, hey man.
That's
He's
Labrador.
not here, man. It's Labrador.
Labrador.
Here, man. So this was like a teenage smokeout spot that like.
From a hole in the ground?
I mean, I've smoked weed in weirder spots.
Sure.
1 second.
All right.
I don't condone drugs. Don't think I've actually ever done them.
It's a game where we're pretending.
Right.
Right.
It was sponsored
All
by
right.
Dare.
Well, okay. So what do you guys want to do next? So you guys, there's nothing left in here. You guys searched everything. You guys go back up to the top.
Back to the tracks.
You check the tracks.
Wait, did we check the tent?
Yes.
Did we check the tent? Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, the tent was just a canvas like lean-to.
Yeah.
And when you check it, you see cart tracks coming out of it.
Alright.
So they were using it to kind of like
Conceal a cart.
to conceal their carts. Yeah.
Right. Our cart.
Our cart, yeah.
Right.
Or Aardvark.
So yeah, you see the tracks.
You shut up. You got taken, bitch.
Um,
I have an unusual
Mike,
set of
roll me your
skills.
survivalist.
I
Any,
also have
any
a
modifiers?
decent-
No modifiers, just your survivalist straight up.
Freaking orientation of this thing.
I'm at a, just for 59. 50.
You made it?
So that was a success?
Yeah.
Okay.
You found
Using
another
your
roach.
astute
I'm just picking up
Skills.
breadcrumbs.
you see that about 9 people marched into this town in chains with 4 people kind of circling them, and the last person in of that chain of 9 was dragging a cart. There's a lot of commotion on the ground of things moving, pieces being moved, and 2 tracks from carts underneath the canvas joined the original cart, and then a 4th cart gets joined,
Jesus Christ.
and the whole thing exits out of the camp
Goddamn
to
dinosaur.
the south. To the south. So you find distinctly, not only now you have a full count, and what you figure with the tracks is there are 4 carts, 15 captives, 4 lords of the Sierra, 2 motorcycles, and what distinctly is not present is
Halfling tracks.
Big Gus's tracks.
Oh, what?
We don't know Big
We
Gus
don't know
is.
Big Gus. We just know.
Yeah.
Not Big Gus, Vince.
Okay, I was like, we don't care about Big Gus. We don't know anything about him. He's on a piece of paper.
All right, Vince. No Vince tracks.
So he's like,
He was
wears
on
a
the
certain
cart.
size of stiletto, is what you're saying?
You've hung out with your friends. You know what
You
their
know what
shoe.
shoes
You know what
look
their
like.
shoe pattern looks like.
Just a
But,
sweet transvestite.
That's not saying anything other than the fact that he's not at Scavenger's Hold and he's not walking
Sure.
with them currently.
All right, well,
And so if you guys do follow the tracks, you can easily follow the tracks to the road to the south.
all right. Well, I'll let everybody know what I discovered and what do you want to do. Let's proceed.
Well, let's keep
Follow the
following it.
tracks.
I mean, it's our only lead to where Vince is.
Yeah.
Damn limp pattern.
All right. Stagger, stagger,
It's
fall,
that drag
fall.
step that Vince has. I can
Stiletto,
spot it a mile
stiletto,
away.
drag.
And turn.
But after the war, you got home and the plague hits. And I went over this with the guys. I don't know if you were here for this. So this is what happens. The world got hit with a plague that just decimated everybody, right? It's like 90% mortality rate. It was a high, and it did weird stuff. Like some families, everyone got wiped out. Some families, it didn't even touch. So this is why you have like different groups and different factions, is it wasn't consistent. And nobody really knows why it was inconsistent. Just that it was wiping out. It was like 90% of the population just died. The zombies emerged from the piles of bodies everywhere. So many people died so fast, nobody could keep up with the processing of the body. So obviously you have these giant mountains of bodies of undead, and eventually they start rising from these open graves. So that's why we have zombies. The zombies are not part of the plague, but they have like a kind of a symbiotic relationship. One did come before the other.
Yep.
So zombies didn't bring the world down. A plague brought the world down, and the zombies
And
just happen to be a byproduct of that.
Yep.
So you get out of the service, you go home, and then this plague hits, and the whole world within 2 months is topsy-turvy. Okay? So you get disconnected from people, and whether or not your family survived is your choice. But you decided, you survived, you joined the Morticians
Yep.
to kind of help the world pull itself back together. So there's an element of hope that you guys... Morticians are about hope. There's a level of hope of trying to do right. You living in the area understand what the factions are and how the community is built, okay? So not a lot's known about the cluster to the west. It's kind of its own province, and it's shrouded in mystery because they don't want the Morticians in, and they're strong enough to keep everybody out. You, as a Mortician, know about the Lords of the Sierra. And the Lords of the Sierra were a minor biker gang before the plague, right?
Yep.
They're the only biker gang now. And they've taken their opportunities that they didn't get wiped out to solidify themselves and to take over the Sierra Nevada mountain ridge as best they can. So they're disorganized, they're bikers. So they're not disorganized, but they're not doing crops. They're violent scavengers who have raiding parties, so they're strong enough to steal from the Morticians, but they're not strong enough to wipe the Morticians out or Sanctuary Valley out.
All
Right.
right.
So there's always been conflict there, and as a Mortician, you would know that they exist and they do shady shit. So that's kind of where the history's at. You are laying on your side on a hard, rocking surface. Your right hand is bound by a cool metal that suspends your whole arm in the air. The small of your back has a hard, pointy object sticking in it. Wiggling your body ever so slightly, you realize you're wedged between freight. Slowly opening one of your eyes to a bright sunny day, you see a symbol you haven't seen in many years through blurred vision. A yellowish-orange circular patch with a black spider in the circle. Above it reads, Airborne. You remember the patch as the 135th Airborne Division. Your division. Blinking away the fog, you look up the leather vest where the patch is located. Smiling through a massive beard, you recognize the unmistakable eyes of your closest army buddy, Caleb Gustavo, Big Gus to everyone in the unit. A man who has saved your life countless times when you were enlisted. Dude, you're awake! I thought you were going to be all like, and shit.
Big Gus, man. Wow. I'm hurting really bad.
Here. Drink some water, homie. Have some water. And he opens up a canteen and hands you a canteen you're able to grab with your free arm. And he starts going through his pockets and he picks out a key. And he goes, "How you feeling, man?" And so the previous night comes back to you. You were fighting off food poisoning, which is why you were removed from the guys. And you were pretty sick the night before, and the doctor took you into the trailer. And at one point you woke up and there was a commotion, and you grabbed your cleaver and looked outside. And the guys from your perspective, they had one of the scavengers hold people on the ground. And they told you everything's under control, just go back to bed. So you went back inside, you went back to bed. Later that day, you heard machine gun fire. You grabbed your cleaver and headed back out of the trailer just in time to see Lords of the Sierra show up and start gathering and capturing the residents of Scavenger's Hold. Before you could do anything, you were hit in the face with the butt end of a rifle. And the next thing you know, you woke up to see your friend Big Gus standing over you.
Big Gus.
And Big Gus is excited to see you. And he's just like, "Man, I'm so glad to have found you, brother. A fucking Morty, huh? Hey, look, you have to get up and walk with the other captured. It's the rules. But it's 4 days out to where we're headed, so we have time to catch up. Here, let me help you up, homie." And he takes the key and he unlocks the handcuffs from the bar. So he's keeping the handcuff on your wrist. And he kind of helps you up out of the cart. And you look around and you guys are on an old abandoned highway. There's 4 carts. One of them you recognize from the cart that you brought to Scavenger's Hold.
Yep.
There are people who you think might have been former farmers, union members, pulling the carts. They're handcuffed to the carts. There's 4 distinct biker guys with Big Gus. And any civilian scavenger or union member that isn't pulling a cart is chained and being dragged from one of the carts. And as Big Gus helps you out, he walks you to the end of the line and he handcuffs you to the chain. And standing in front of you is Megan Clark, the former leader of Scavenger's Hold. And Gus kind of slaps you on the back and goes, "Hey, I got a patrol, but we'll definitely talk later." And he just walks away with just a bounce. He's just super excited to see you. And when he's out of earshot, you hear Megan very quietly go, "Mortician, what are we going to do?"
We are gonna get out of here.
So, as mentioned, it's about 4 days to your guys' final destination. You're going to have opportunities to talk to your former friend, Big Gus. As of right now, if you do like a check of your person, all your equipment's gone.
I'm naked.
Well, you're not naked.
I mean, like, I have no weapons.
You've got your Mortician smock is on, right? Any of your armor you still have on you. But they've removed your backpack with all of your gear. All of your weapons have been taken away. The only thing of personal value you still have on you is a marble they didn't think was worth their time.
Well, Megan, what do you think is going on? Where are they taking us?
Gee, I don't know. When they raided the camp, I just surrendered because I figured, well, your friends had left. They took all of our mercenaries, which turned out only being 2 left, so it was just us. And when the bikers showed up, I figured the safest thing to do, I didn't want anybody to get hurt. So we just surrendered.
I need to speak to Big Gus, see what's going on.
All right. So, as you guys move forward, you have 2 opportunities per day to have a conversation with Big Gus. Okay? So, at a rest stop, they stop, drink water, get a small bite to eat. Everyone gets circled around. Gus actually walks over and unhandcuffs you from the rest of the group. You're still in handcuffs, but he removes you from the rest of the group and he pulls you over. You notice that he's rocking on his Lords of the Sierra patch the rank of Bushwhacker. In the way the other guys are treating him, he's definitely the guy in charge. And he's interested. What have you been up to? What happened? Like, we got back to the States and then all hell broke loose. And I as many people were dying, I could have sworn you were dead.
You know me better. You know me, I'll survive through anything. I'm Big Gus. What's with all this? Why am I handcuffed?
Hey, it's procedure, man. Look, here's how it works, man. When the world got turned upside down, I was fighting by myself, and I came across the Lords, man, and they took me under their wing in our community, and we took care of the families and shit, homie. You know how it is. So I've been rolling with them ever since. They've been taking care of everybody. But we're working on this project right now. We're going to head to this place, you know, the Department of Transportation, how they had the little facilities with all the trucks and vehicles to clear roads. Well, we found one of those, and we're pretty sure they have a fuel depot on the inside. But all the entrances are covered by a rock slide, so we need people to move the rocks, since supplies. So I was sent out to collect some supplies from Scavenger's Hold, man, and here's where we're at. Look, this is a good opportunity, man. You don't have to be a Morty. Come join us.
No, I don't know. We're good from the war, but I don't know why am I still handcuffed.
Look, brother, procedure. Until you know the score and you're ready to join us, you've got to be handcuffed. Now, if you're willing to join us, you got to understand that Lords of Sierra is for life. You join us, you take on that brand, you never get to run. It's a death sentence. You no longer get to be a Morty. You be with me, though, man. It'll be great. It'll be great.
Yeah, I remember the good old days. Good old days, Big Gus.
And you remember Big Gus as being like, yeah, he saved your life, and he like you as a veteran, you know, he served, he did his time, and he was like, you know, he was a badass dude. But you also remember, like, he was like one of the nicest guys in the world. He had everyone's back. You remember on shore leave, you know, barbecues with family and friends, him taking care of people. In the neighborhood, he was the guy people would bring, like, their cars over to, and he'd help work on them and everything. So, For you, this might be a little odd because he's not
Yeah.
the man you remember.
Yes.
Excuse me. Now, you can do anything in this conversation, whatever you choose. You can try to convince Big Gus to cut you loose. You can try to convince Big Gus to let you join the Lords of the Sierras. You could even attempt to convince him to join you. Okay? Whatever you want to do. If you want to look for information, you can do that. If you want to figure out a way to free the slaves or look for an opportunity. So it's kind of on you on what you want to do.
Now, Big Gus.
Now, you're gonna be rolling your speech skill to convince him of anything.
Okay.
And I'll give you bonuses for role playing.
All right.
Okay?
So I want to convince him to let me and Megan Clark go.
Okay. How do you want to do that?
Big Gus, you know I don't want to join the Lords of Alliance. I'm a Morty. Why don't you cut me some slack and let me go? But I also want to take Megan Clark with me.
Okay. Why don't you go ahead and roll your speech skill? And you didn't really role play me a real good reason why he should listen to you. So it's just going to be a solid speech skill across the board,
All right.
right? So what'd you roll here?
I got a 95. Right?
You rolled a 95? Okay, that's going to be a critical failure.
Yep.
He's like, I can't do it, homie. Look, we go way back and everything, and I'm super glad that you're okay, but I'm not cutting you loose. All right? They kill me if they fucking cut me loose. So do not ever ask me again to cut you loose. All right, man?
Understood.
Hey, it was nice talking to you. We'll talk later.
Yeah.
And he grabs you, picks you up,
Handcuffs.
walks you back to everybody else, handcuffs you, and you guys start marching again for the day. You guys are heading. So you guys were at Scavenger's Hold.
Yep.
You were like over here, and then you went into like the road here. So you guys are actually marching into the Lords of the Sierra like territory in here. All right. And so like you guys go down like a highway and everything, and while you're marching, is there anything you want to do?
While I'm marching, I'm gonna try to attempt to kind of get my cuff off.
Try to see if you can't like. So there's standard police cuffs, that are kind of run through a steel loop
Yes.
that's welded to a 2-pound chain. You know the gauge of a 2-pound
Yes.
chain, right?
Yep.
All right. So it's welded to a 2-pound chain. So bare hands, you're not going to be able to break it or snap it or anything like that. But as you're walking, you do notice that there's I misspoke earlier. It's just only 3 guys plus Big Gus, and there's a total of 15 captives. They're not full on slaves yet. But what you do notice is as you're walking is that Megan and the Scavengers Hold guys they went for weeks without food until you guys showed up and they ate. And so they look sick. The Union members that were captured, they actually look pretty good. And some of the stronger men and women of the Union are being talked up by other scouts, by other bikers, who are like, oh, yeah, man, you should just join. Look what the Union's got you, right? So there's a whole, thing going on here where they're actively recruiting from their captives to join their ranks. And you guys continue down southeast. You are following a highway, though. There's no dirt paths or anything. It's been 7 years. So there's, debris buildup. There's cars rusting on the side of the road. There's parts of the road that like are washed out, and there's like grass growing through it and everything. So if there's anything you want to do, anything on the road or anything like that,
I want to see if I can. I want to just kind of investigate around, see if I can find something I can use as a weapon. Like a big rock.
yeah. Go ahead and roll your. Let's see here. You know what? Roll your repair skill. You guys are passing all these cars and everything. Roll your repair skill. Fail.
Yeah, I have a 24.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of like rocks or debris or anything you can pick up. Being at the end of the line, the scouts kind of, are pretty close by. So if you were like to hunch over and grab something, but like looking at the cars as you're passing, like there's no antennas, there's nothing you could like grab or break off of the car. Give me 1 second. But you keep your eyes open. Roll me your survivalist.
I have a 28.
You failed your survivalist roll as well. Having a rough go at this. You attempt to try to figure out a way to like leave a message or like to like break in the trail or something, but you just can't figure out what you're gonna do. So you guys march on for the rest of the day. They get to like this bend in the road, and like on one side of the road it's like a sheer drop into a valley below, and then on the left side of the road it's just like rocks and everything, and that's where they decide to stop. And they kind of circle the carts up so that it's slightly fortified to the behind you guys and slightly fortified to in front of you guys. And Gus kind of comes back and he's like, "How you doing, man? How you holding up?" And he's got a bowl of what basically looks like mush. And everyone is handed a similar bowl, but you notice your bowl also has a roll of bread and a chunk of beef jerky. Here, homie. Here, check this out.
Thank you. So, I've been thinking about this. Me joining the Lord of the Sierra, where does that put me?
Well, I work for a warlord by the name of Tig. Our groups are spread out throughout the mountains under warlords. You'd be under his faction with me. You'd start out as a prospect, and as you proved yourself, you could rank up. I started pretty early on, so the prospecting wasn't that too hard, and eventually with my skills as a scout, that's why I've got this rank of bushwhacker, man. Well, head knocker.
Yeah.
You could be an enforcer for sure, man.
Well, guess I'm gonna take this opportunity to take you up on that offer.
Yeah?
And handcuff me so I can join the Lords of the Sierra.
Well, all right, it's not that easy. I don't just get to snap my fingers or anything, but I tell you what, yeah, I'll handcuff you. We're bound to run across some zombies. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you a crowbar. All right? And you help patrol us while we get back. And depending on how you do, I'll talk to Tig and we'll see about swearing you in. All right?
All right.
So he's actually excited. This is great for him. He thinks this is fantastic.
Big Gus.
So he Big Gus unties you and everything, and he goes over. Go ahead, eat with the guys, and he comes over and he introduces you to the other three guys. And they're like immediately standoffish to you. He's like, nah, he's cool, man. He's cool. We fucking served together. It's totally fine. It's totally fine. And he goes over and he grabs a crowbar and he hands you a crowbar. And he says, you're at patrol first light, so rest up. And yeah, so immediately the Scavenger's Hold residents, all the captives from Scavenger's Hold look at you like, fucker. You like they have venom in their eyes. They immediately fucking hate you. And the Lords of the Sierras guys are looking at you like, the fuck? Hey, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. This was the Wolf Pack of Morticians RPG. Just kill him.
Beat him to death.
So, Big Gus grabs you. What the fuck? What the fuck? And by this time, the other two bikers, they've got their knives out, right? They both are wielding combat knives. And they're ready to fucking cut you. And Gus is like, hold on. What the fuck? What's going on, Head Knocker? Dude.
Come on, Big Gus. You know I don't take shit from nobody. This guy been fucking with me this whole time.